For joining us today. I'm so excited to be here. Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us on our virtual voyage today. I am so excited. We are with my good friends at Once in a Wild. We have Miss Amanda here today with us. Everybody say hi, Miss Amanda.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining us on this voyage this morning, and thanks for getting up early with us.
Exactly. She is a master animal fact finder, knower kind of person. Yeah. And she is going to share some amazing animals with us today. So if you're joining us, be sure to tell us your name below so that we know and that you can enter into our contest today to win some magic mail from me or even one of my magical friends. We can't wait today. We're going to journey into all these other areas to learn about different animals, maybe some that Maui's even shapeshifted into. Who knows? Well, and if you're joining us today and you were in our virtual Magic Pass group, then you might see a few familiar friends, like the one that's right next to Miss Amanda. But I promise we have some new friends today that we're going to learn all about, and it's going to be pretty amazing. So you definitely want to stay tuned. Well, Miss Amanda, will you tell us a little bit about yourself before we officially learn about all of your animal friends?
Of course, Moana. Thank you so much for your nice introduction of us and Once in a Wild and what we do. So our company is called Once in a Wild, and you guys are once upon a party, so I think it's meant to be. It's wonderful to be here with you again, Moana. In case you guys missed our previous show, you get to see it again. And if you did see it before, you'd see it again. And if not, then welcome. And if you've never seen me before, my name is Amanda. You can call me Miss Amanda or Amanda if you like. And what we do is we actually bring the zoo to you. So we can bring our animals anywhere that you like within reason, and we can also bring them to you virtually, just like right now here on the live stream this morning. So we're really excited to show you 5 different animal friends out of all of our animal ambassadors that we have this morning.
Yes, we're going to have so much fun, and I know that we have people who are joining us on this voyage from all over, so definitely be sure to share your name, and you can even tell us what your favorite animal is too if you'd like. I'd love to know. I'm sure Amanda knows a lot about lots of animals, so she might even know some fun facts about your favorite animals too.
Yes, absolutely. Be sure to comment with any questions or comments that you want to tell us about any of your favorite animals, like Moana said, or any questions about the animals we're meeting today. Whatever you want to tell us, go ahead and comment down below. We'd love to talk to you today.
Absolutely.
Looks like we have a few people chiming in already.
Great, that's so great. Hi guys, I'm so glad that you're joining us today. We are so excited. Miss Amanda, I can't quite see all the messages that they are saying. So have they said any of their favorite animals yet?
Let me take a look. I have a few people saying hello. Can you
Hi, oh, great. Hi, Ellie and Kenna. I'm so excited that you're joining us again. We are going to go on a very special journey today, and Miss Amanda's here to be our guide, our master wayfinder.
I'll do my very best. Let's see. It looks like Luke and Sophia are also watching, and Esther.
Oh, I'm so glad that you're here today. Welcome. And are you ready for an adventure? It's going to be wild.
Looks like a few more people are chiming in.
Awesome. Leliana, that's a great name. I love that. It sounds very, very tropical to me. You love, oh, I love you too, Leliana. And you like my necklace? It's very special to me. My grandma gave it to me. So every time I wear it, it reminds me of her. And I know that I can do anything. There's no telling how far I'll go.
Can you tell us a little bit about your grandmother's favorite animal?
I can, yes, of course. Well, she always said that she loved the manta rays that swam in the ocean, and she even had a tattoo of them on her back. It's pretty impressive, and I think that that's, whenever I see manta rays, I always think of my grandma because I know that it's as just like her spirit.
A grandmother with a tattoo, that sounds like the best grandmother in the whole wide world.
Well, quite a few people on my island have tattoos.
I see.
Maui, he has some that just appear after he has an epic journey, and it's pretty amazing. He even has a tattoo of me on him. It's pretty cool.
Yes, that's pretty impressive. It looks like Megan is chiming in. It says, my favorite animal is Pua the pig and bunnies.
Love my Pua. Oh, he's so sweet, and he is kind of like my best friend. I love him. And pigs and bunnies, those are great, great animals.
And then Lily is saying hi to Ghost, the axolotl over here.
It's great to have you joining us again, Lily. I'm so glad that you remember our friend Ghost.
I think Ghost is ready whenever we're ready, but I have a few more people chiming in.
All right.
People are working.
Will you tell us about our very first our animal?
Sure. I'm going to actually bring her over a little closer so everybody can see, but she's very excited, as you can see, for her food. So this right here is Ghost, the axolotl. If everybody can see her right here next to my hand. So Ghost is an axolotl, and she's a very special colored axolotl. She's white with red gills on the side of her face, and those are not hair like we have, Moana. Those are actually gills. And she's an amphibian, so she lives underwater most of the time. And since she's an axolotl, she's always underwater. Would you like to spend your whole life underwater?
Well, the ocean does call me, so I don't think I would be upset, but I would probably miss my family and my fellow voyagers a lot. So I don't know, maybe we could do half and half.
I understand. And most amphibians, except for the axolotl and some other ones, actually do come up on dry land and in the water. So they're more like you. So most amphibians are like that, but axolotls prefer to stay underwater all the time. And really, they're designed that way. So when they're born, they come out as a little tadpole, like all amphibians do. But then they never come out on dry land, like I said. So they're going to just stay as an adult size like this, but they still have a tail and gills, and they can stay underwater their whole life, which is pretty amazing.
It's amazing. Well, Miss Amanda, what exactly do they eat?
Well, I was just going to talk about that. So you read my mind, Moana. So she's ready for treats right now. And what axolotls eat is other animals. So they are carnivores. So you guys know what carnivores eat, right?
Yeah.
No salad or fruits and vegetables for them. And what I have right here for her is a teeny tiny worm. I don't know if you can see that very well. There's the worm. And we'll bring it back to me. And she's ready for her treat. This is a very special treat, which is a worm. But out there in nature, there you go, Ghost.
Oh, wow, that's amazing. She really likes those things, huh?
That's her favorite food. Are your favorite food worms?
No.
Me neither, just checking. So out there in nature, they're going to eat things like bugs and worms and maybe even fish for their dinner. I'm going to give her some more when she's done.
That's so interesting. Well, I did want to say hi to a few other people while we're feeding her. I wanted to say hi to my dear friend, Emma. Hi, sweet girl. I'm so excited that you're joining us today. I cannot wait to see you again. And I'm sure I heard that you had a birthday recently. Well, I hope that you had so much fun and that you are growing to be such an amazing voyager. Thanks for joining us today. Let's see. We also had Catalina. Hi, Catalina. It's so good to see you again. I hope you got a lot of fun things that you've been doing in your village and everything. But thanks for stopping by today. And let's see. We had Natalie and Amelia. Hi, good morning, guys. I'm so happy that you're here joining us. Isn't Ghost amazing? Yeah. I think that Ghost kind of looks like something that I might see in Lolotai, which was kind of scary, but she seems like that she wouldn't be too scary to me in person. What do you think, Miss Amanda?
No, she's not a very scary animal, even though I can see what you mean by her color and maybe like glow in the dark appearance, but she doesn't glow in the dark. But do you know that some axolotls actually can glow in the dark, like all those monsters in the realm of Tamatoa? Isn't that amazing?
That's so neat. Yeah, they were kind of scary, but luckily I was small and I could get myself out of any sticky situation.
That's right. You used your brain to get out of there, huh?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It looks like somebody's favorite animal is an okapi. I think Natalie's favorite animal is an okapi. Do you know what an okapi is, Moana?
I think so, but they kind of a little confusing, aren't they? They're like two different animals together, right?
Exactly. So okapi are from Africa, and they actually look like a zebra from the behind down. And from the rest of their body, they kind of look like a horse, but they're actually related to the giraffe. Did you know that?
No, I didn't. It sounds kind of like when Maui needed a little more time practicing his shape-shifting skills.
He was half shark and half human, huh? That was pretty cool.
That's
He got better as he went on, though.
worse.
I'm going to give Ghost another worm while we're talking still. I think she deserves another. Oh, missed that one. But I'm going to turn her around first. Oh, she's going to get the plant on accident. Ghost, that's not your food. Plants, come back over here so everyone can see you.
Vegetarian, I see.
Kind of like Hey sometimes, eating rocks and things.
Yep.
There you go. There you go. We have to make sure that she eats the right food, just like Hey.
Yes, that is unique.
Yes,
his friends just lie beneath the surface.
Absolutely. And just like that, she lies beneath the surface completely, doesn't she?
That's great. Well, Miss Amanda, do we have another animal that we're going to meet today?
Absolutely. Let me feed her one more worm. And did you guys know that axolotls can actually regenerate their body parts if they lose them?
No.
That's their superpower. Isn't that incredible? I think we talked about that last time, Moana.
Whoa. For our new friends today, can you explain what that means?
Absolutely. So an axolotl can regenerate their body parts, which is a very fancy way to say that they can regrow their body parts. So basically, if an axolotl becomes injured for any reason out there in the wild, they can just regenerate whatever was lost. So if they lose a limb or break their arm or lose their tail or even an organ, they can actually regrow those things with no problem. Isn't that amazing?
That's really amazing. And I bet it comes in handy a lot.
And handy, indeed.
Of course.
Good joke, Moana. I don't know if that was on purpose. I'm going to give her some more treats before we move on to the next animal. But I'm more than happy to show you more critters here in a second.
Well, we would love to meet them. Oh, I can't wait, especially to see if we get to see some of the animals we met last time and meet some new ones.
Yes, this next animal was actually here last time as well.
Oh, which one? Should we guess?
It's right.
It's the turtle. It's Shelton.
Shelton is actually a tortoise, Moana, but you're very, very close.
That's right.
That's okay. He's still in the turtle family, so you're not really wrong. It's just a little more specific when you say the word tortoise. Right. So do you know some of the differences?
What that means?
Sorry?
Can you remind me what that means?
Of course. Can you maybe guess some differences between turtles and tortoises? Do you remember?
Well, I do know that turtles, I've seen a lot of turtles that like to be in the water mostly. And so maybe turtles like water and tortoises are on land. Is that right?
That is actually totally right, Moana. Very, very good. So if Shelton were to go swimming with Ghost, he wouldn't be able to swim at all. He would just sink because he's too heavy to swim. So we're not going to do that to him, right? But not like the sea turtles, right? Sea turtles spend almost all of their time in the sea, of course, and they come up on dry land to have their eggs. And that's really the only reason that sea turtles come up on dry land. But a tortoise is going to live their whole life on land and never go swimming. So he's going to always stay on the land as opposed to doing what you like to do, which is go to the ocean and coming back home, right?
Right. Yes.
So another difference is how fast or slow they are. Do you think a tortoise is fast or slow?
I would say, well, sea turtles are pretty fast underwater, but on land they're really slow. So I'm gonna guess he's slow.
That is right. So since he is so slow, which is another feature of tortoises, they're pretty slow moving animals. And that's okay. That's just the way they're made, right? That is not an insult at all to say he's slow. That's just the way he's designed. So since he's so slow, do you think his food is fast?
Probably not, because then he would probably not have anything to eat.
So the slowest food of all is something that grows in the ground, like grass and plants. So tortoises eat plants and other vegetables like flowers and fruits and things like that. And they don't really eat any other animals because they're too slow to catch most other animals. So they don't really have to eat them. So that's another big difference. Not only do they live on land, they move slowly, and they also have to eat plants instead of eating other animals like other turtles and things. So that's another big difference.
Yeah, that makes sense, though, because then they would probably not do very well if they couldn't catch their food.
That's right. So what's slower than grass? Almost nothing, right?
Dirt.
Right? Both. That's what he's going to eat most of the time. It's going to be grass and maybe flowers and other plants.
Wow, that's so interesting. And do his marks on his shell mean anything specific?
I don't think they do, but that is the natural markings that they do have. And his species is called the red-footed tortoise. You can probably see why they're called the red-footed tortoise.
Yeah, he's got red spots.
That's right. He's got red spots on his head, on his legs, and even on his tail, which is right back here. Here's his tail. Yeah, he's so cute.
Wow, that's so neat.
And this tortoise is actually native to South America. So we traveled all the way from, I forgot to mention where Ghost is from. She's from Mexico. That's where this species comes from. So still in the same kind of area of the world, but we're down in South America now instead of Central America.
How neat. Well, if I ever pass one on my voyage, I'll be sure to give them some good grass.
Yes. They would probably appreciate a flower from your flower crown there.
Yeah, I can share one. Well, I have a question from Lily. She asked if tortoises can eat snails.
So tortoises can eat snails, but it's definitely not good for them to eat snails a lot because they can make them sick eventually from eating too much animal protein. So they can get an occasional snail now and then, and they certainly can catch a slow-moving slug or snail on occasion, and they probably would like it pretty well, but it would make them sick, just like if you ate way too many pieces of candy or something like that.
That makes sense. Thank you for that question, Lily. That was great.
To answer Ricardo's question, absolutely. You guys can definitely ask questions. As many questions as you would like. We'll do our very best to get to your questions on the live stream. If we don't get to your questions right now during our voyage, we will go back and answer the questions for you. So don't you worry. Ask all the questions you like.
That's great to know. I love asking questions, especially if I don't really know a whole lot about it. So I love learning about animals because it makes me a master animal fact finder.
I love that.
Name for that.
We'll get that on your resume as well.
And I'll be sure to show off my animal knowledge with Maui next time I see him.
Beautiful. Love that. I wonder what Maui's favorite animal is. I think it's a hawk. Don't you think?
Definitely a hawk. I mean, that's the one that he shapeshifts into the most anyway.
I don't blame him. That's pretty fun to fly, huh?
It is, and it's a lot faster than like a tortoise or something.
Really a lot faster. I think the slowest animal I saw Maui turn into was maybe the whale or maybe the bug or the lizard, but the lizard's fast too, and so is the bug.
True. That's true. Couldn't get very far with the shark head either.
Oh, I know. And I'm trying to see if anybody has any questions about Shelton, if you guys have any questions at all. Oh, here's another comment from Natalie.
Oh, Natalie, you love alligators too? Oh, that's so amazing. I love all types of animals, especially ones that love the sea too. I'm so glad to know that you like them.
So alligators are another type of reptile, right? So there are 4 different categories of reptiles. Turtles and tortoises are in the same category. So when you called him a turtle, you weren't really wrong. He's in the same family group. And then we also have alligators and crocodiles. Those are called crocodilians. Then you've got lizards and snakes too. So there's 4 different categories of reptiles.
Wow, that's so neat. There's so many animals. How do you know so much about all of them?
Well, I just have a lot of experience with a lot of animals, and I've learned a lot about them my entire life. So I don't know. I've just built up all this knowledge because of that, I guess. And it's a passion. It's just who I am.
You're a voyager of knowledge.
Aw, that's so nice.
That's awesome. Well,
comment.
What does she want? Oh, she says that she would like coconut water and a boat ride with me. Oh, I would love that, Voyager. I love coconut water. You know, we use the coconut tree for so many things around our island. And it's really important to be able to use the things right where you are. Are there ways that can help the animals too, Miss Amanda?
Absolutely. So animals are very resourceful, just like all of you islanders are. They basically know how to use their resources without overusing their resources. So they have food today and food tomorrow if they need it, right? That's just one way that they are like that.
That's so neat. They're so very, very smart, I guess.
Absolutely. And that's one thing we can learn from animals is not to overuse our resources so we don't run out of them, right? That's very important.
That is very important. Well, Miss Amanda, does Shelton get a treat today?
Well, no, I don't bring any treats for him because he sometimes doesn't eat right here on the live streams, but he will, of course, get a salad later on today.
How exciting. Well, that's been so fun to meet Shelton. Does everybody like our new tortoise friend? Yes, I'm so glad. Well, Miss Amanda, do we have another animal in line?
We sure do. We have a few of them today. So we're going to just let Shelton rest.
Perfect.
I'm going to clean my hands. Who else is chiming in? It looks like we have a shark comment.
We like sharks?
Yes.
Well, I kind of like sharks. Although it was really funny when Molly had a shark head.
That was funny. Sharks are really amazing animals, but a lot of people are scared of them. But you really shouldn't have, you don't have to be scared of them. Of course, if you're not even in the ocean, but maybe Moana would have to watch out for sharks, but it might just be Maui.
And we really haven't there haven't been any bad sharks around. A lot of times when we're out on voyages, they're just swimming around and doing things in the water just like all the other animals.
Yeah, they're important just like every other animal is, right? Okay,
exactly.
So I know that you really love Pua the pig, right, yeah. Moana?
I do. Oh, I love my Pua. I miss him so much. He was not able to come with me on this voyage today.
Right.
But we have a friend that's very similar.
I do have a friend that's a little bit similar. It's known as a guinea pig. This is Iggy, the guinea pig.
Goodness, it's Iggy. That's his name.
Iggy, the piggy.
Goodness, how cute! Hi, Iggy.
Hello. I'm just gonna hold him so you guys can see him. So Iggy is a guinea pig, but guinea pigs are not pigs. Did you know that?
Why do they have the name pig in them then?
I know, it's kind of strange. So Guinea is actually a country where they don't come from either. So the Guinea part is another story, but the pig part actually comes from their voice. So you know how Pua can kind of squeal and snort and make all kinds of cool noises?
Yes.
So a guinea pig makes similar squealing noises to a pig, and they make all kinds of different sounds as well. And they let you know how they're feeling with their voice.
Wow, that's fascinating. I'm excited to tell Pua all about a pig that's not really a pig.
Right, and that's what the pig part comes from, but the guinea part is actually what they used to cost. So the word guinea is a type of money, and way long time ago in the old days when these guys were taken over to Europe from South America, because they're South American too, just like the tortoise, they were sold for 1 guinea, very, very inexpensive. And they became very popular and they would sell them. So that's why they became the guinea pig.
That's so neat. And he looks really soft with all of that hair.
He is very soft. He also has very long hair. This is not how they all look. He's a very special guinea pig. He's known as a Peruvian guinea pig. And Peruvians have very long, crazy hair like this. He looks like he has bedhead right now.
Mm-hmm. Looks like the ocean could help him out with this hair a little bit.
So maybe so. Maybe we'll give him a flower crown later. I think he would look really pretty like that. But he's actually a male, but I don't know if you would mind wearing one.
I think he would look kind of cute, actually.
But he's very soft. And I'm holding him up so you can see, even you see his little feet. They're very short.
A little bit.
Yeah. So guinea pigs are actually in the rodent family. So they're related to like squirrels and mice and rats and other rodents like that.
Wow, that's so neat. Now, what kind of food do guinea pigs like to eat?
That's a great question. So he's also going to be a herbivore or vegetarian. So these guys will mostly eat grasses and plants too, kind of like the tortoise. And here with us, they actually eat hay as well as special pellets and vegetables.
Nice. That's so neat. Wow. And does he have anything that he has to be afraid of?
That's a great question. Yes. So guinea pigs in the wild especially are what we call prey animals. So that means that other animals might eat them. So they're going to have some ways to stay safe, right?
Yes.
So one way that they stay safe is by staying in big family groups. So they're very, very social, just like people. So people are social and usually live together, right?
Yeah, in a village for my people.
So a group of guinea pigs isn't called a village. They're actually called a herd, just like a herd of goats or pigs or horses, etc. That's what a group of guinea pigs is called. It's called a herd.
Wow, that's so neat.
And they usually live in a big family group and they stay together for safety. And they also can run really fast away from their enemies as well.
Wow. So they stay with their herd and run really fast. Are there any other ways that they stay safe?
That's about it. Maybe hiding as well. So running and hiding underneath a bush or a tree branch or something like that. And some guinea pigs actually do dig tunnels underground. So if they can get to their tunnel, that's going to help them stay safe as well. So getting home is going to help.
Wow, that's so neat. I was going to say maybe going under the ground would be helpful too.
Yeah, you were right. That's not every guinea pig species because there's different kinds out there in the wild. He's, of course, not a wild guinea pig. He would probably get all his hair caught on all the branches and things. But in the wild, they're going to have very short hair and they're going to be a little bit more fast and wild looking.
Wow, that's so neat. And are his colors, is that normal for a guinea pig?
No, it is not. So normal coloration in the wild is going to be kind of a brown color so they can blend in. So that's another way they can stay safe, of course, is by just hiding and looking like the rest of nature. So that would call that camouflage, right?
Yeah, that's so neat. Kind of like our iguana friend was.
Sure. And kind of like Ghost as well. So Ghost is not the normal coloration as well. As you might imagine, being white like that, she's probably going to stand out in the wild. But out there in the wild, her cousins actually are brown and black with spots. So they're going to blend in.
So where would we find someone like Iggy?
Like Iggy? Mm-hmm. So these guys live in South America. That's where they're from originally.
Oh, okay. Right.
And did you know that villagers in South America actually used to raise guinea pigs?
No, I didn't.
That's how they became domesticated, like thousands of years ago. It's pretty amazing.
Well, I'll have to ask Molly about that. He was around.
Oh, for sure. That's true.
He might have even rose up their island.
Oh, yes. I'm trying to see if anybody... Oh, here's a question. Can Iggy swim? Hi, Rihanna. Nice to see you. So Iggy doesn't really swim very well, but I imagine the wild guinea pigs in South America can probably swim just a little bit, but they would only do it in an emergency. It wouldn't be like for fun or anything like that. So they might swim across the river or something like that to get away from danger. But I don't think Iggy can swim very well, to answer your question. But Iggy does enjoy a bath. He gets a bath every now and then to help keep him nice and clean.
I was just going to ask that if you guys give him baths or if he keeps himself clean.
Yeah, and they do groom themselves a little bit, kind of like a cat, but he does need a bath to help his long hair stay nice and clean.
Of course, and probably brushing too.
Right, he has to be brushed, so I totally understand that with my long hair. I'm sure you do too, Moana.
Yep.
And Ricky says, or Ricardo's asking this question. You want to answer this question? We just answered it.
Do they make noises? Well, that's where the name pig comes from, because they can make noises like a pig, just like my pua.
That's right. When they're really excited, they go, wee, 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 like that.
Neat. Now, are they pretty good at being good? Are they good friends, Amanda? Because my pua is a really good friend of mine.
Yes, Iggy is one of my best animal friends here with us. So guinea pigs are actually domesticated, so they make really good animal friends for most people.
Oh, sweet. So you could have a guinea pig in your hut, huh?
Yeah, could. That would actually be like kind of a tradition from thousands of years ago, because they started off in people's hut a long time ago. Like you said, maybe Molly knows a little bit about that. We should ask him.
That is so amazing. I don't know if Molly's ever changed into an guinea pig before, but oh, thank you so much, Lisa. He is adorable. I agree. He looks really soft. Oh, I just wish I could touch him, but I can use my imagination.
His hair's in his face a little bit. There we go. He's so cute.
He is cute. It almost looks like he has a star on his face. With how his hair is going.
Here's another question. Here's a question.
All right. Then guinea pigs get along with rabbits. Oh, that's a really good idea, because it kind of looks like a rabbit, except the ears.
Yeah, they're similar, but rabbits are what we call lagomorphs, or they're in the rabbit family. They're not rodents like guinea pigs and other animals, but since they are both prey animals and not predators, usually they would get along okay, but a guinea pig actually needs to live with other guinea pigs to be very happy, because they're social with their own kind, just like humans. So just like humans get along with dogs, we would probably be unhappy if we never saw another human again for the long run, right? So it's important to have guinea pigs together, but a guinea pig and a rabbit would probably be good neighbors or good occasional friends to hang out.
That's so neat. So that's a very good question.
It was. Here's another really good question from Nikki.
All right. She says, Amanda and Moana. Oh, hi. If you had Molly's power to transform into animals, which animal would you transform into first? First? Well, I would probably transform into a dolphin because I just love how much fun they seem to have in the water, and they get to jump really high, and they just look like they have so much fun in the ocean. What would you shapeshift into, Amanda?
That is a great question. And I don't know if I can decide because I love so many of them, but I really love birds. I think I'm kind of on the same page as Maui with being a bird of prey. I think that would be wonderful. Although bird of prey have a lot of work to do to catch their food. So it really just depends. So maybe I would be, maybe like a parrot or something like that. Parrots like to eat seeds and fruits and vegetables.
And they're colorful too, right?
And they can talk, which is pretty neat.
That is pretty neat. That was a good one. Thanks for asking, Nikki.
That's a great question. Let's see. Oh, here's a good question as well. Megan's asking, Liliana's asking if Iggy eats flowers like roses. They can. So, I almost called him an iguana. He's not an iguana. The guinea pig, Iggy, he really likes to eat all kinds of vegetables. He's not very picky. So flowers are definitely something they could eat, especially in the wild for sure.
That's a great question and very interesting. Well, it's been so great to meet Iggy. Do we have another animal in line?
Absolutely. Let's go ahead and meet another animal and let Iggy rest on below. He's going to say goodbye first. Say goodbye, Iggy.
Bye, Iggy. Oh.
He is such a good boy. Okay. So how about we meet another reptile? Would you like that? Let's see. Who else has questions? Here's another question. Maybe you can at least ask that question for me.
Sure. She says, since Iggy has long fur, does he need haircuts like other long-haired animals or even humans?
So yes, sometimes we do have to trim his hair, just like if you had like maybe a Yorkshire Terrier or a type of dog that's hair grows out really long, or human too, right? You do have to trim it now and then, but that's kind of your preference, or you can just brush it out and bathe them kind of often to make sure it's clean.
That's so neat. Thank you so much for asking that question, Jasmine. I think if you're going to have if you're going to have an animal like Iggy, it's probably important to know how to take care of them really well.
Yes, that's very important when you bring in an animal friend into your life, right? You want to make sure to take good care of them and find out what they eat, how to care for them, of course, all of the things, how to keep them safe before you bring them home, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, let's go ahead and meet a lizard. And this is one we have not seen on the program before either, just like Iggy. Let's check him out.
Oh, that's so neat. Wow, I love the colors that he has. Is it a girl or a boy?
That's a good question. So this is George, and George is a boy.
Hi, George.
And he is a panther chameleon. Gonna crawl down my arm.
So why is he called a panther chameleon?
Well, I don't really know why, and that is a great question. But I think it's because they stalk their prey, just like a big cat would do. So a panther is a great big cat, right? And panther chameleons and panthers both have to stalk their prey. And that just means they have to hunt by using stealth. They have to sneak up on their prey. So their prey is going to be things like insects. So that's what he eats.
That's so cute. Oh. I love all of his colors. Why is he so colorful?
So they use their colors for different reasons, and they mostly communicate with their coloration. So they change colors, as you may know. A chameleon can change colors whenever they want to. Wow. And if I bring him back over, you can see, but his colors are very, very bright. And also he's almost every color of the rainbow, and he can change into different colors as well when he feels like it. So his colors are going to change because of how he feels, so his mood. And they're also going to change because of temperature. So if he's feeling a little cold, he might be darker. And right now he's not cold because he's bright colored. And also he's going to communicate with his coloration to other chameleons. Now that's usually only when they see each other, which is not very often. These guys are not social like the guinea pig. They live by themselves.
Wow. That's so neat. And he seems like he's moving pretty quick.
He can if he wants to. I think he's trying to climb down for some reason, but these guys actually do live in the trees. So they climb up in the trees. You can see that he climbs really good. And he's got these cute little hands, which are his toes that are kind of fused together like little mittens. And he can crawl onto the tree branches like he's doing on my fingers. And he even has a prehensile tail, which means he can grab things with his tail like another hand. Look at that.
That's so neat. He's so neat looking. I really love all of his colors so much.
Me too. He's very unique, isn't he?
Yes, he is.
Here's a good comment.
He looks like Pascal. Oh, yes, my friend Rapunzel. Oh, that's so neat. He does kind of look like that.
He does. I think Pascal is green, right?
Yes, he is green.
And here's a good question as well. Let's see here. What kind of food does George eat? Well, George eats things like roaches, crickets, and worms. So he is an insectivore. So he eats bugs.
So does he have a special food that he really likes that's kind of like a treat like we gave Ghost?
That's a good question. I would probably say the worms are probably his favorite, but it's not necessarily something we give just for a treat. That's something he gets on a regular basis, but that's probably his favorite. That's a good question, though.
That is good. So what is the orange thing under his neck?
So that's just his throat. And underneath, well, inside of his mouth, of course, is his tongue, just like we have a tongue. But chameleons have very special tongues. You may know why, but they actually have to, they have to catch their bug prey, right? So in order to catch their food, they sneak up on their food like a panther, and then they actually don't have to be very close to their food because their tongue is very, very special.
Whoa, that's so neat.
So inside the mouth is going to be where the tongue is, but the tongue is actually as long as the tip of his nose to the tip of his tail. That's how long his tongue can come out and extend to. Isn't that incredible?
That's so neat. Oh my gosh. That is really, really impressive.
So then at the end of his tongue, it's very sticky. So it comes out and it grabs the bug and then it comes back into his mouth and then he can eat it. That's very convenient.
It is. That's so neat, especially because he's so small.
Right. So he doesn't have to be very close to the bug. He can sneak up on it and it wouldn't even see him coming. And then all of a sudden he's eaten.
So they pretty much move. They can move really fast, but usually they're pretty slow.
Yes, they're a little bit stealthy and slow usually, but they can move quickly if they feel like they need to get away from danger. And just like most animals, they do have enemies or predators, right? So they need to be careful of their predators. So getting away from them or blending into the background is going to be their main way to stay safe.
Wow, that's really neat.
Pretty cool, huh? But
that is really
chameleons don't actually change colors to blend into the background. Like I told you, it's just going to be for their mood, for temperature, and for communication. So he's going to be pretty much just this kind of pattern, but that's going to help him blend into like shadows and things. So that's going to help him defend himself.
Oh, that makes sense. Well, do iguanas make for pretty good pets? Or I'm sorry, not iguanas. I was thinking about our friend Joanna.
I know. She was here last time. So both chameleons and iguanas are probably a very advanced type of pet to have. I don't recommend them for beginners, but they do have totally different lifestyles. So a chameleon is a little less, I would say, cantankerous or has an attitude. These guys are a little bit less of an attitude, although he's opening his mouth right now. But the iguana definitely has a very kind of sassy attitude. A chameleon is more chill usually, but they do require a lot of advanced care. So I definitely wouldn't recommend them for most people unless you know what you're doing and you have a lot of experience.
Whoa, that's so neat and very good to know. What are some ways that you have to? What are some things that you have to do to take care of him?
So he has very special needs for his home. So one thing is he has to have a very special, what we call an arboreal setup, which means a tall cage or enclosure, right? And it has to be a screen home instead of a glass home like this. He can't live in glass like this because that's bad for them. And also they have to have rain or misting twice a day minimum. So you have to be home to be able to mist them and everything like that. And they have very special diet needs as well. So there's a lot of things you have to do for them and temperatures and all kinds of things. So they're a little more sensitive than other reptiles are.
So then do they like to be in the rainforest then if they have to stay kind of cool like that?
Absolutely. So I forgot to mention where the panther chameleon comes from, and they come from Madagascar, which is right off the coast of Africa, and it's an island.
That's so neat. Wow. So are they pretty much alone all of the time, or do they like to be with their family too?
So these guys are solitary. So as a species, he prefers to be by himself. That's how they're the most comfortable. So they like to kind of be like Maui on the island, but by choice, not by being made to be on the island, right? But he would probably like that.
Well, I'll have to let Maui know. Although it probably wouldn't be cool enough for him on that island. It was pretty hot and rocky.
Yes, he needs more trees and more rainfall, right? So they do live in the rainforest, to answer your previous question, Moana. They do live up in the trees, and they like a lot of rain, like we said, and humidity, which means it's always kind of humid and wet all the time.
Wow. And do they have a lot of animals they have to be afraid of?
There's a few. There's not too many, but actually their main predator is going to be birds of prey. So like the hawk.
Well, I will make sure that Maui doesn't scare any chameleons or probably iguanas then too, huh?
Both of them have to watch out for hawks. That is the common predator they have. Ricardo says they look like a dinosaur. Did you know that birds are actually more closely related to dinosaurs than reptiles?
Wow, that's so interesting.
Let me see. Who else has questions about any of our animals that we talked about? I'm looking for your question. Here's a good one. What color does he turn when he's scared? So we don't know if he's scared or not because he can't tell us. But if he's feeling a little nervous, usually chameleons will turn a little darker. So darker is usually going to be like a bad mood or I'm cold or something like that. So that's
a good question.
Good question.
Especially if you're going to take care of them, then you probably want to know what they're feeling whenever they turn different colors.
That's right. Oh, I forgot to talk about his beautiful eyes. Did you notice that his eyes are kind of looking in different directions all the time?
Yes. I was going to ask about that and I forgot.
That's okay. There's so many things to learn, right? So I sometimes forget too. But his eyes are very special. So his eyes can look in two different directions independently, which means by themselves. Not only is he independent, but his eyes are independent too. Isn't that crazy? So his brain actually has two different like fields of vision. So that's like having two different screens inside of your brain, like a TV screen, kind of like we're on two different screens right now. So imagine if one eye could look over here and look at everything, and the other eye could look over here and look at a totally different picture. And once he wants to hunt, then he puts his eyes forward so he can see forward and hunt that bug. But until then, he's looking.
Can you see really far with his eyes?
Yes, they have very, very good eyesight. In fact, they don't have any ears, so they can't hear very well, as you might imagine. He can feel vibrations and things. If he were to have like somebody walk up like with really heavy feet, he could probably feel the vibrations, but they can't really hear very well. But his eyes are really, really good. He has very good vision. You can see pretty far.
That's so neat. So I know that our iguana friend, are we seeing her today?
No, ma'am.
That's right. So our iguana friend had, I think it was like a third eye on her forehead area. So do iguanas have things like, or do chameleons have that too?
No, they don't. So that's a great question. So some lizards like iguanas and some other similar lizards to iguanas, they have a scale on top of their eye, which is clear, and that helps them to see shadows and movement. But that comes in handy when they're going to sleep, right? So they can go to sleep and they still have this little way to see shadows of like a bird flying overhead. And I can wake them up and tell them that there's danger coming. But you're right.
So then our chameleon friends, they don't really have something like that. Did they just wake up?
They just wake up if they feel threatened. But they can put one eye up put one eye up or wherever they want and put one eye down. So they could see two different directions that way while they're napping or while they're just resting. So that's usually what they're going to do, is they're going to be looking around all the time unless they're taking a nap. But that's really going to be when they're in the most danger is when they're sleeping at night. But these guys sleep at night.
Wow, that's neat. And what's that called again when you sleep at nighttime?
That's called diurnal. So we're diurnal as people. Most people are diurnal. And nocturnal is when you're awake at night, right?
Right.
Here's a good question. What do you think, Moana?
How old do they live to be? My guess is probably not as old as Maui.
Definitely not. So chameleons, unfortunately, don't live very long. So most lizards can live into their teens, maybe 20s, but chameleons only live to be about 5 or 10 years old. So they don't live very long.
Yeah, that's not very long.
No, but that's just the way it is. Some animals don't live long and some animals do. Tortoises live a long time. They can live into their 60s or 70s for that species, and some can live into their hundreds, maybe more.
That's so neat.
And we talked about this already as well. Does his tail serve any purpose? Yes. So his tail is like another hand for him. He can hang on to my wrist right now. And he can also hang on to any tree branches when he's climbing. So he doesn't lose the tail or regenerate the tail like the axolotl or any other lizards that can do that. because Amanda's asking the same thing here. I want to get to both questions.
Yeah.
So his tail does not come off in case of emergency, like some lizards. So it actually just stays on him. So it doesn't regenerate and it can't do that. Look at him hanging on to me.
Yeah. That's so neat. It's like you're like a monkey.
It does look like a monkey. Monkeys also have a prehensile tail sometimes.
Wow. Oh, he's just so cute. Now, does his skin feel rough or smooth? I can't really tell.
Let me see. It's kind of rough and dry, but it's not very rough to where it hurts me or anything like that. But he does have scales like all reptiles. All the 4 categories of reptiles that we talked about, the turtles and tortoises, crocodiles, alligators, snakes, and lizards all have scales. That's one common thing they have between all of that. And that helps to protect their skin, right? So if you have tough skin, you're probably not going to get hurt as often. But his scales are not very rough, but also not very smooth. They're kind of in between.
Wow, that's so neat.
For some reason, he wants to climb down onto the ground here. All right, George, you did fantastic. Do we want to meet our final animal friend?
Oh, yes, I do. I'm so excited. Thank you, George. It was so great to meet you today. Wasn't George
waving goodbye, I believe. Okay, George.
That's great. He looks like he was enjoying that.
Aw, they do love to climb. That is one of their biggest abilities, is what I'm trying to say. They have the great ability to climb trees. I wish I had a prehensile tail like him. Okay.
Yeah, handy, I could see.
Okay, let's see if anybody else has any. Oh yes, Tanja, prehensile tail. You are right. How many muscles do they have? I don't know how many muscles they have. That's a great question. It's something to look up. My favorite thing about what I do is always learning all the time. I don't know if you feel the same, Moana, about voyaging. We're always discovering, but I don't know. So that's something to learn for me too.
That is really interesting. Probably not as many as humans because their bodies are a lot smaller. But maybe they're just smaller.
Maybe so. That's something to learn, right? Maybe I can learn that.
That's great. Learning is so much fun. I definitely have learned a lot since my time meeting Maui. He's taught me a lot of things about wayfinding and exploring to new places. So maybe explore some more information.
I feel like no matter who you meet or what animals you meet, you can always learn something.
That's true. That's true.
Okay, let's meet one more animal and we'll hang out with her for the rest of the time.
All right.
Come here.
Is it a bird?
Maybe. If she decides to come over here, look who it is.
Oh, that's so neat. Now, what kind of bird is that?
So this here is Pikachu, and she is a cockatiel. She's a yellow cockatiel. So cockatiels are from Australia. Do you know where that is?
I think it's an island pretty far from my island, but
it's a big island. It's huge. I'm going to turn our sun down over here just a little bit so you can see her a little bit better. She is very light yellow, and she almost white in this light.
Ah, she does. You see the yellow on her head and some orange on her cheeks too.
Absolutely. She's wearing blush today, as always. So the cockatiel in nature, they actually are gray, and they have a little bit of white on their bodies here and there, and some other colors, but they always have the orange cheeks.
So how come she is more yellow then?
So that's just another color that we can actually breed for them, or they breed into them, just like Ghost the axolotl and Iggy the guinea pig. They're special colors too, just like that. So it's just something like a cat or a dog comes in different colors, or even Pooh the pig has those spots.
Yeah.
Those are actually only in the care of humans.
That's so neat. So where do cockatiels live normally?
So in Australia, and then they do live kind of all over the place in Australia. They're very common out there. You'll see them flying around all over the place. And they also live in big family groups together because they have to stay safe. These guys are also prey animals.
Yeah. So do they have a specific type of place they like? Is it really dry, or is it wet? Or I'm assuming they like trees.
They do love trees, and that's usually where they're going to be. But sometimes they'll come down to the ground to look for seeds to eat because they eat grass seeds a lot. But they also do like kind of a drier climate, but they can actually be in different climates all over Australia.
Wow, that's so neat. And do they migrate like most birds?
I don't believe they do. That's something to also learn. I'm not from Australia, so I don't see them in the wild. I don't believe that they do migrate, but again, I'm not 100% sure. That's a great question.
It doesn't get very cold on their island either, so.
No, exactly. So Australia gets cold just for a couple of months, but it's not very cold, so they don't really need to go anywhere.
That's birds on my island don't migrate either because it pretty much stays the same temperature all the time.
And because of that, they actually do have babies all year round as long as they have enough food and water and a place to live. So cockatiels don't have a breeding season like a lot of birds do too. I do know that. So I don't think they do migrate. But they'll have their babies together with their mates, and they do mate for life. So they get married and have little babies together, and they raise their babies together. And they can have anywhere from 2 to about 6 or 8 children each time they have babies.
That's so do they have them in a nest? Is that right?
That's right. They're going to make a nest inside of a tree. So they look for a hollow tree that's nice and safe inside. And that way their babies can be safe because they're already a small bird and a baby cockatiel is very, very tiny. And they need to stay safe from their predators, right? So they always look for somewhere safe to have their babies first. So they build their nest inside of a tree or something like that. And then they hatch out in about a month. And then eventually they'll start flying out when they get their feathers.
Wow, that's so neat. Well, I love the feathers on his head. I think those look really neat.
So cockatoos and cockatiels. So this is a cockatiel, which is just like a tiny cockatoo. They're very, very similar. And they are close relatives. They're just cousins. Cockatoos and cockatiels both have that crest of feathers on top of their head. And that's going to, just like the chameleon, tell you their mood with their color. So instead of telling the mood with the color, that's going to tell you her mood with her crest. So if the crest is up, that means she's paying attention and looking around like she is now. And if the crest is down, she might be a little bit upset. And if it's just kind of like medium, that just means she's relaxed.
Aw. Well, I'm glad that she's aware.
Yeah, it's kind of like your eyebrows. Like if you're really surprised, you're going to have your eyebrows really high. If you're wondering about something or upset, they might be down like that. And if you're just relaxed.
Wow, that's so neat. So do they have really good eyes like our chameleon friend?
They have really good vision. In fact, I would say it's about the same as far as how good it is. But of course, the chameleon can look around with different independently moving eyes. So that's very different, but they do have really good eyesight. Most birds can see really well, and they can see in full color. So they can see all kinds of things. Yeah. That's going to help her stay safe as well when looking around for her enemies, right? Another way to stay safe other than living in groups is going to be talking to each other, just like the guinea pig does too. They might tell each other that something's dangerous and they all fly off together. And flying away is really handy too.
Wow, that's really neat. So what kind of predators do they have to look out for?
So once again, it's going to be that same predator that some of the other animals have. So what was that? Maui's favorite animal.
Is it a hawk?
Yes. So it is a hawk or other birds of prey. So that's going to be their main enemy. That hawk really eats a lot of animals, doesn't it?
I'm going to have to ask Maui about his trip.
Well, I hope Maui doesn't come around to eat Pikachu here.
So no, he did try to fatten up Hey for a while, but since he pretty much gave up on that. So does your cockatiel eat rocks too?
No. No, I would say she's a little bit smarter than Hey. Yeah. So probably
means well.
Yeah. But she is eating some really special treats right now. So she's eating what I like to call her cereal, which isn't really cereal. It's actually Cockatiel Food. It's special food for them. But she also eats seeds and vegetables too. So she has a little bit of a varied diet, but they don't eat other animals. So they don't eat meat.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
Neat. Aw. That's so neat. So do they get pretty loud then sometimes? Do you think?
That's a very good question. So most parrots are very loud. Cockatiels are kind of medium loud, but they're still kind of noisy. I think she's going to get down and get some crumbs that she dropped, even though I have plenty of food. Where are you going? She might leave. That's okay.
Can kind of see her tail a little bit.
So yes, most parrots are very loud. So by the way, cockatoos and cockatiels are in the parrot family. So they do talk a lot and they do sing a lot and they mimic your voice and other animal noises and even phone noises and things like that. Whatever they hear, they can mimic. But the cockatiel isn't the loudest parrot. They're actually pretty quiet for a parrot. Still a little talkative.
Wow, that's so neat to know.
And they're kind of like people. They all have different personalities. So some people are louder than others, right?
Yeah. So when they fly, are they pretty fast or pretty slow?
So when they fly, they're extremely fast. When they walk around, they're medium speed, but they can fly very, very quickly. Oh, I see what she's doing. Even though there's different types of her bird cereal here, she has favorite pieces. That's what she's doing. She's looking for her favorite pieces, very picky. Here's a good question. So this is a very good question. You want to read this question and I'll answer it.
Yeah. So Genevieve wants to know, how can you tell that they are happy?
So that is a kind of a complicated question. I can't really ask her if she's happy and she can't tell me, but I can assume that she's feeling really good if her body language tells me that she's feeling good. So her crest being kind of midway up will tell us her mood. She's not flying away and she can fly. I think somebody was asking if her wings were clipped. Her wings are not clipped. She can fly in this great big room. She can leave if she wants to, but she's not leaving. So I assume that she's having a good time hanging out with us, right?
She's enjoying her snack, that's for sure.
So that's our best guess that she's happy. But animals, you know, happy is more of a human emotion, although I think she's happy.
So does she have a lot of friends in the wild?
So yes, so out there in nature, these guys actually are very social, as well as in the care of humans too. So she does have her best friend Evie that she lives with. So Pikachu and Evie live together, and she also has a bunch of doves that she lives with as well. So that's going to be very similar to in the wild as well, because cockatiels, since they're so vulnerable to those hawks and things, they like to live with other animals, even other species of birds. So sometimes they'll mix together with all kinds of different animals out there in the wild for safety. So they're very, very good with hanging out with different animals.
That's so neat. Do we have any other questions that people asked?
Yes, we have so many questions. I'm trying to keep up. And thank you so much, everybody, for your questions. We really appreciate that. If I can't get to each and every question, don't worry. I'll go back and answer them the old-fashioned way. Let's see. Oh, here we go. How old is she? How long do they live? And are her wings clipped? So her wings are not clipped. We let our birds fly naturally here at Once in a While. And she is about a year or a year and 2 months, I think, old. So she's pretty young. And they can live into their mid-20s or so. So she's got a long way to go.
That's so neat.
Here's a good one as well.
Natalie watches an Australian show called Bluey, and they call their birds budgies. Is that right? Is a cockatiel the same as a budgie?
This is a really good question. So budgies and cockatiels are both from Australia, and they're both in the parrot family, but they're not the same thing. So a budgie is about the half the size of a cockatiel. They're really small. Some people call them parakeets. So it's okay if you call them a parakeet, but their real name is a budgie or budgerigard. So budgie is just short for budgerigard. That's the species name. And they're different. They're different species, but oftentimes you'll see them living together in the wild.
That's so neat. So they're kind of like friends.
They are friends usually.
Wow.
Let's see. Has Pikachu learned more vocals lately? No, Pikachu is not very talkative. Since she's a girl, the girls actually don't talk as much as the boys. The boys like to talk about themselves all day long and mimic and impress all their lady friends and everyone else. And they're a little bit full of themselves, kind of like Maui is and Tamatoa. So they talk a lot and do a lot. And the females are more humble. So they don't talk a lot. They might whistle, which I kind of like. I like that she's more mellow.
That's so neat. I did hear or see that somebody wanted to see if the feathers were soft.
Oh, very soft. So Pikachu doesn't really enjoy being touched or pet, but her feathers are very soft. So sometimes when they shed their feathers or molt their feathers, just like we shed our hair and regrow them sometimes, I can feel her feathers that way. And I can feel them against my hand and stuff like that. But some birds like to be pet and scratched and touched, and she just doesn't really enjoy that. It's just not what she likes. So I don't really want to do that to her, but I do know that she is soft.
That's so good.
Here's another good question as well.
Genevieve wants to know if Pikachu would make a good pet.
So I think that cockatiels are very good pet birds. However, they're still a bird, and birds are very, very high maintenance. So that means you're going to have to clean up a lot. You're going to have to spend a lot of time with them. You're going to have to train them. And I think they're even harder to take care of than a cat or a dog. So they're very, very specialized animals. So you have to do a lot of research. And I prefer to keep my birds flighted. So you'll have to make sure your home is safe for birds as well that are flying around.
That's really, really good advice.
Yeah, if you guys ever need any advice about birds, just let me know.
We did have somebody ask if Pikachu shocks you like the other Pikachu.
Oh, at first I didn't know what you meant. No, she doesn't. She doesn't have any Pokemon powers except for to sit on my shoulder and be my personal Pokemon. But she looks like Pikachu with the orange cheeks, and these kind of look like ears. But her ears are actually on the side of her head, kind of like our ears. They're right here on the side, and she can hear really well. Kind of right behind her cheek,
Where her
cheek right there. Yeah, her blush. That's where the ears are. And these are not ears. It's just feathers sticking up.
Wow. So there was one more that I was looking at. Let's see.
Sure.
Oh, I wanted to know how far they can fly.
Ooh, I don't know that answer either. That's something else for me to learn. Because in nature they're going to fly quite a ways to look for food if they have to. But if they don't have to fly, again, I don't think they migrate. So if they don't have to fly very far, they're just going to fly as far as they can. But I would imagine it's pretty far if they practice enough. So they have to get good at it. So a bird in your home may not know how to fly as well because they're just flying around your house and things. They're not a wild bird. So it really just depends, I think.
And we had one more question about our Pikachu. Okay. They said, are they awake during the day or at night?
I see that one there. Perfect. These are a diurnal bird, just like we're diurnal as a human. So they're awake during the day and they sleep a really long time at night. In fact, they like to go to bed as soon as the sun goes down and they wake up as soon as the sun comes up. That's another thing to think about when you have a bird in your house is they are morning people. So if you're not a morning person, they're going to let you have it in the morning and they're going to sing all morning to you and you'll hear it.
That's so neat. Does she have a special song that she likes to sing all the time?
Well, Evie, her friend, is a male, and Evie actually does sing quite a bit. And I think he really likes his own singing, but usually he'll do like different whistles and things like that. But they really do like to watch TV as well. Did you know that?
Wow, that's so neat. I love all these questions, and I love all of our new friends. It looked like we had a question about George earlier.
Okay, that's fine. If you see it, let me know. If anybody has any questions, don't mind sticking around for questions.
Oh, sure. Somebody had asked if we could watch George eat something.
Oh, yes, I saw that question. So George is very new to us here at Once in a Wild, and he's not yet really comfortable eating on camera. He's a little camera shy when it comes to eating. So we're getting him trained to do that in the future. We hope that he can do that. Pikachu's on my shoulder now, playing with my ring and my shirt. But hopefully in the future. But if you ever watch any of our other live streams on Once in a Wild on Facebook or YouTube, we have mini Chameleon chats on there, and sometimes we show videos of him eating.
That's so neat. So with Pikachu messing with your earring, it made me think, does Pikachu have special toys that she likes to play with?
Yes. So birds really like toys as well. Most birds, so parrot type birds especially, they need something to do all day long or else they get bored. So yeah, they're very curious. They're very busy all day long. So they definitely need toys for them to stay nice and happy and healthy.
That's so neat. So would we find any of our friends that we met today, would we find any of them in one place? Place together? I think they're kind of from all over.
I'm trying to think. Well, the guinea pig wild version of the guinea pig, not Iggy's version. And so guinea pig in the wild as well as the tortoise are from the same continent. So South America. So the red-footed tortoise, which I can show again if you want. Sure. See how Pikachu feels about that. Here he is. So Shelton, the tortoise, and Iggy, the guinea pig's cousins out there in the wild, they would both be from South America.
Wow, that's so neat. Aw, Shelton is just still, he's just hanging out.
He's an easy one to kind of hang out with. And again, Ghost would be from Mexico, which is in Central America. So that's very nearby. And then we go all the way to Madagascar, which is in the African continent. And then Australia with the cockatiels.
Wow. But they all get to live with you.
Yeah, and we have many animals here from all over the world here at Once in a Wild.
That's so neat. Well, I've loved learning about all of our friends today, and I hope that all of you have too. We'll see one more. Oh, I didn't see any new questions, but I think we covered most of them.
Yeah, let us know if you have any other questions. You can always comment again later, and again, I'll try to get back to you on that as well. But if anybody has any last-second questions, please go ahead.
Awesome. I'm so excited. And we will be sure to announce the winner of our magic meal from those of you who joined in today. We will announce it a little bit later. But thank you all so much for being here today. Ms. Amanda, you've been amazing. You know so much about all of these animals, and I can't wait to go on a wild adventure with you again.
I would love to see you again, Moana. You know I would. So it's been a lot of fun as well. Thank you so much for hosting and being with me. And thank you to all of our voyagers today for tuning in and asking all the questions and learning about animals. We always encourage you to keep learning and keep growing and keep voyaging, right?
Absolutely. Well, thank you everyone so much. Ms. Amanda, do we have anything else for today?
I think that's going to be the end of our voyage for now, but I would love to see everybody again for our live streams on Wednesdays at 6:30 p.m. Central Time. We're going to have a very special one actually this Wednesday at 3:30 p.m. and we'll have our regular show again at 6:30 p.m. and every other Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. as well. So we'd love to see you again here at Once in a Wild. If you ever need anything, it's onceinaWilds.com.
Yay! Well, thank you so much. This has been amazing, and I can't wait to tell Molly and even Pua about all of the new friends that we made today.
Thank you so very much, Moana.
Great.
We'll see you next time, everyone. Bye, everybody.
See you next time.